Welcome to Life Fit with DVD. I'm back again. This is probably my 10th take on this video. I don't know why I am having such a hard time making this video. Um, but what I wanted to share today was I was thinking about what could I share with everybody that, in my opinion, would be the most important thing I could share with them today? If there's one message I could share with them, what would it be, right? And I realize in thinking about that we all have different energies, all have different intentions, vibrations, and the way I communicate and convey this message won't land on a lot of people. However, it might land on some people because I realize it's not even about the content as much as it's the energy and how I deliver it and how I speak about it. So that's a small caveat in saying this. However, the world is getting a lot more chaotic if you can't tell. If you look outside at the news, everything seems absolutely insane. I think it's resulted in a lot of people either completely cutting out the world, not looking at the news, not paying attention to it, or being completely caught up in it and indulging in it hook, line, and sinker. And it's created this dichotomy, this split of people that are checked out versus those are completely bought in. And I would say I'm not either. I think it's a good idea to keep an eye on what's happening. However, not to indulge it and go into it and really think about what matters. Does this matter? Is this affecting me? And that's going to be a question that each and every one of us has to answer for ourselves. However, with the growing chaos that's happening, I think it's going to continue to get more chaotic. And I know that seems hard to believe with what has already transpired since 2020 and the whole pandemic and all of that, but it's going to get more and more crazy. And I want to say that this is by design, and it's okay as well, because what we're going through, in my opinion, is a transitional period. And this is a good thing because what we're moving from is an age of planning, and we're going into a, a time of taking back our personal freedom and our independence. And I think that is amazing, right? I think it is an amazing thing that we get to come back to our roots in a way, to from where our ancestors were, and start to be more self-reliant, more responsible, more accountable, and more self-resilient as well, if that's a word, right? And what this is going to look like is from the top down. We're talking a governmental, corporate, sort of societal, maybe. Things will start to look really crazy, but it doesn't have to be. And I mean, it already looks insanely crazy, but it doesn't have to be, because where you are with your own attitudes and beliefs is what matters the most in all of this. And that is going to be a process that starts internally, not externally. So while everybody is freaking out and panicking about what's happening here or there and whatever, the only thing we can do is control ourselves. Now, we are not going to be completely isolated from the chaos and the uncertainty in all of this, because change is the only constant in life. And I think that we need to become very comfortable with uncertainty. That is my message. I'm like beating around the bush, but get uncomfortable with uncertainty. And I don't mean this in a, this is like the apocalypse sort of way, But I think there's things that are going to happen that are going to be insanely unpredictable. Um, and it already is. We don't even know what's fact from fiction anymore. And I'm typically good at deciphering these sorts of things, and it's getting to the point where it's very difficult to figure out what is truth. And I know that can be like a kind of a scary thing for a lot of people. What is a stable foundation? But you can decide what your own stable foundation is and what works for you. But the key thing in all of this is you need to realize, what are you dependent on? Are you dependent on something from the government or something from a corporation for a job or for certain products or whatever? Um, are you dependent on other people for your own value or the way you feel about things? Um, these are questions you need to be answering for yourself and seeing if you can bring them back into you. Are there things that you can make that are, products or do things that are going to help other people or just the immediate people around you, um, or help yourself? I mean, the thing that pops up in my head is I make my own toothpaste, I make my own shampoo. All these sorts of personal products. If you can do it yourself, go for it, because these are critical things to learn. So you're not reliant on even your phone or technology to make these things. Now, sure, I mean, even making shampoo or soap or toothpaste or whatever, you're still dependent on raw materials to do that. However, at least you know how to do it. Or maybe you make sure you get enough of these things to last chaos for a while things might seem to be breaking down. Because, once again, I don't know what's going to happen. But when I look at the 3,000 or 30,000 foot view, things look really crazy coming up. And I mean that from even a fundamental level such as money, right? What is money? What is value? And is that going to change? Are we going to be getting some sort of central bank digital currency? Because there might be conditions with that. There might be conditions with a lot of things that they're talking about in the media for what they want for society, when I think that it's not going to be like that. I don't think that people are going to willingly accept many of these things that they're planning, because we're moving into a time of transition, and that is transition into more personal accountability, and with that will be chaos. So get comfortable with the uncertainty. Try to take back as much responsibility as you can for yourself. What this looks like for me is asking myself is, does this matter? Does this matter? Is the thing that I'm thinking about or I want to do or whatever, is this matter? I mean, it's a hard question to answer for me, and I would suspect it would be a hard thing that for other people to answer as well sometimes, depending on who you are, and you know, everybody's once again a unique individual. But asking these questions and realizing that you can't completely isolate yourself from the uncertainty, and just accepting that hey, that's just going to be the way it is coming up, but the way that you control yourself and your own behavior and the way you feel about things is going to be paramount in not only providing for yourself, but being that foundation, that rock for other people as well, in whether it be your family or your community or somewhere else at large. Um, so, and I think the last thing I want to say is this is going to take time to play out. It's not going to be like this is going to happen immediately. A lot of things that I think about when it comes to like the 30,000 foot view stuff takes a while. It doesn't just happen overnight. It takes years. So it's a transition, right? But just get comfortable with it and bring the awareness back in yourself into what you can control, into what matters to you, and accept that whatever happens, you'll be okay. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know if this message helps or if it's triggering for people or whatever. Typically, that can cause, moving into a time of uncertainty can cause a lot of strife with people. But I just wanted to share that it's okay. It's the way it's supposed to be, and only you can control, your own attitude in it. So do your best and forget the rest, right? So I hope you may have liked this video. If you do, that'd be amazing if you could like or subscribe. If you need help sorting through your own journey or the goals that you want to get to or trying to become more self-sustainable or accountable on your own, let me know. I'd love to help. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.